Hello. Alright, we're good. Yep. Right. Sorry, I've moved my mic a little bit. Yeah, there we are. Sorry, I've moved my pop filter. It was touching my nose, which I didn't like. So I had to move stuff around again. How are we all doing? This is, as you can see, Aria of Sorrow. There should be Aria of Sorrow. Hold on. Oh, I forgot. Window. There we go. Oh no. What is this sass? Okay, alright, well that... Congrats on having a VTuber collaboration with Breezy. I assume you're playing Escape. Oh yeah, Escape some Apes, yes, very good. Very good. I look forward to that. Twitch.tv/Sasquatchless. That's might want to watch. What time is it? Not your usual time, is it? Really? Yes, it is. Okay, cool. I will try to join for that. God. I would tell you, Sess, I meant to stay up last night to watch your stream. And while I was waiting, I went, well, I'll watch what Dot's playing for a while. I think she's playing Spelunky. Right. I'll just keep an eye out for when Sass goes live. And for the first time in ages, I fell asleep within minutes of starting to watch the stream and woke up very confused at 5 a.m. with an unfamiliar voice in my ear because of the number of raids that had gone on for a couple of hours while I'd been sleeping. Woke up going, who's talking to me? And then realised what had happened, that the laptop was plugged in by the side of the bed, but I still had my headphones plugged in from when I'd fallen asleep. So I'm sorry I missed your stream last night, but I was asleep. Alright, so... Oh, that's not the right one. This is Aria of Sorrow. Aria of Sorrow, I have not played before. Interestingly, so I had a quick look because 360 emulator pretty much crashed in every game. Oh, that sucks. Ugh, that's annoying. So I was looking at the manual, as I want to do. Oh no, wait, that's packaging. Sorry. Instruction book. Yeah. I was having a quick flick through just to know what this one was about. What's interesting was I didn't realise that this was a game with... Where is it? This is it, isn't it? Soul Trade. Yes. So you can... It had link cable stuff. I actually don't know if this has anything like that now. If they've put anything like that into this version. Dead Space was real good. We talked real time. Okay, well, like I said, I'll catch that when you put the VOD up, which you can do again. Remind me when, let me know when you're going to put up the Back for Blood VOD, and I will edit mine, the description on mine, and make it public at the same time as well. Just again, so if people want to, I don't know, see my POV or whatever, but also so I can then point them in the direction of your VOD, so just give me a heads up on that. Anyway, so yes, so this is a weird, soul trade, as they call it. I don't know what that really involves, but I assume this isn't, so... This is what confused me a little as I was reading this, because, there's... I was kind of going, is there, what, is there, Pokemon style, once you start this game, there's only so many, tactical, as they call them, tactical souls that you can get? Or is this, just to fill in the... I don't know. Anyway. Explore the jaws. Okay, very good. Let me know what the audio is sounding as well. I've kind of mucked around with it again. Be alright. So I've not touched this one at all. Aria of Sorrow. Actually, I went back and did the Maxim playthrough for what you call it, Harmony of Dissonance, which is actually, I thought that was actually kind of neat way to play that game, because it's basically just one, like, you do a boss, well, not quite a boss rush, but you do kind of a, you know, you just quickly run through all the bosses, because there's basically no restrictions on where you can go, and get to Dracula as soon as possible. That was actually kind of cool. I was glad I did that. Oh, am I gonna... Oh, sorry. Do I have my control set as I... No, okay, hold on. That needs to be... Oh, hold on, how did I have this before? Anyway, that needs to be attack, definitely. Maybe I had A and B as attack. So start screen. Map screen. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Move, crouch, bullet soul attack. Okay, drop down, pulse mega. Okay, I think that's probably how I want it. Do it. Okay, so start screens, map. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Attack being on B and X is fine. I just need attack to be on X, because otherwise I'm going to have trouble with that. Let's see. So I'll leave all those things on. What paper am I going to go for this time? Go for that and the fog. What do I usually set this to? Do I have it standard or pixel perfect? I think I have it set to pixel perfect. I think I've what I've put it to in the past. Maybe not. Anyway, it's there now. Right. A new game. Year is 2035, Japan. Crowds of spectators are gathering around in anticipation of the first full solar eclipse of the 21st century. Pretty sure there's been like several already. My name is Summer Cruz, and I'm a high school exchange student studying abroad in Japan. Nice to meet. First full solar eclipse to be viewed from Japan. I live near the Hakuba Shrine, an ancient shrine with a strong ties to Japanese mythology. Mina Hakuba, the only daughter of the shrine caretaker, is both my classmate and my childhood friend. I started making my way to the shrine to see the solar eclipse of Mina, but then for some strange reason, the stairwell leading up to the shrine felt longer than usual, as if something was trying to keep us from our destination. When I managed to get to the shrine gate, my sense began to dip. The pitch black sun is holding chaotic darkness together, trying to rouse a sleeping soul as if looking for its missing other half. Okay. So when he says Mina is his childhood friend as well as classmate, does that mean... Sound volume is really low on this one. Well, I might pick up a bit when the music kicks off a bit. Looks like he's coming too. Where am I? Oh, what happened? So decided to join us. Did you have a pleasant nap? Who the heck are you? Okay, so his name is Genya Arikada. Mina Hakuba. Is that meant to be like Mina Harker? Is that kind of why they've given her that name? Wait, let's... Oh, hold on. Oh, this is your... Dead Space, is it? Let's see how this sounds. Yes, okay, this will show up on the stream if I play the audio. If the clip decides to load, oh yeah. Oh gosh, okay, yep, that's pretty fucking rough, audio-wise, god. So the introductions, I have a few questions and I need answers now. Go ahead. Why have you come here? Why? Well, Mina and I, hang on, where are we? We're in Dracula's castle. Huh? Dracula's castle? You telling me we're in Europe? No, we're inside the solar eclipse. Inside the eclipse? You're insane. Do you think I'm a fool? Soma, listen to him. He's telling you the truth. What the hell are you talking about? Give me an explanation. Well, it's like this. An enemy? Yeah, protect the girl. Yeah, go back to where you came from. Gee, Soma. Please. That is not cool. Oh, what was that thing? So it has awakened. What has? The spirit of the creature you killed has just entered your body. You have the power to absorb the abilities of the monsters you kill. But why? Why do I have that power? You've gained the power. Now you must go to the Master's Chamber. For what reason? Do you not wish to return with your friend to your own world? Of course I want to go back. Go to the Master's Chamber. Then you will understand everything. But can't just leave Mina here like this. No need to worry about her. I'll put up a protective barrier. But death will most certainly find those who stay here too long. Then I... Yes, only you can save her from a painful death. And you, what will you do? I too have things I must do within these castle walls. Go, set forth. Both your own life and hers are at stake. Alright, so we're gonna jump. Let's have a look. That one you use with the... So do that one. I assume this is the one you get with like up attack? Yeah, it does. Okay, that's that one. And you do recover MP, it just looks kind of slow. Right. Equipment. Item use. Okay. Energy, sleep. Oh yeah, so this is a suspend mode. Unlike the last game, which has like, you know, kind of a quick backup. You know, where it just auto-saved you to the most recent save room you were in. This is just, you know, full on, like, you get a temporary save and then when you come back it disappears. I guess this is telling me that zombies can drop souls. Okay, good to know. Just found some cash in that candle. Do I have a slide? No, I don't. I don't like have a run or anything with dash. Oop. Wrong buttons. Oh no, that's my bad. Some of the other soul things are on, aren't they? Okay, can't get up there just yet. Which, oh, these guys are not. These guys give me like 1 XP at a time, is it? Yeah. Okay. Not gonna sit here and then. So actually, do they? Okay, they do list drops as well, so it's not just those, I guess. Right. Okay, and I assume that box there, which I'm highlighting, you can see. Wait, is the yeah, no, the master shop on the capture. So I assume that box will be ticked when I captured the soul of the creature. There we go. Good tip. I guess at some point I could build a look. Yeah, you do look. You could, I suppose, someone I could create a look and start running back and forth and trying to get all the creature souls. So that short sword. Oh, that seems much better. And speed-wise, it seems a bit faster. Strikes me as meaning this place is going to be full of water, which... whatever I'm ready to deal with, but let's have a look. Oh, I found something, a pendant. Increase the luck. Alright. Oh. Alright, weird, run the boat. Oh. Start off with a lot of HP actually. No, it's not a second. What was it, like 320? Tasty meat. Okay. Yep, guess I'm not going any further this way then. Let's get to deal with more of these fucking fish. Don't quite get the same, like, I'm trying to think of the term, like, in, God, what's the name of the last one escaping me, Dawn of Sorrow, like, when you use the whip, it kind of gives, like, a lot of, you know, like, if you kind of attack, it kind of, gives you some time in which the attack is active even as you're falling, which this one doesn't seem to have as much, but which I think is maybe how Bloodstained and other ones and like other games or the Castlevanias like this kind of work. Like, or maybe, though I suppose actually that could have been just because it was a whip in the other game. But, you know, once he's kind of extended it, it's, you know, just there. Fishermen. I'm gonna ignore them for the moment. No, I'll have to deal with the fishermen. Damn it. Oh, that dash by pressing L. Okay, that's. Not quite as good as the dash in the other game, where it's like you can just be fucking infident at dashing. Also, because of the slide in the other one, you could really, you can't slide out of, or can't dash out of dock. So the other one, you could just keep sliding. Look like this, which is different from the other two. Okay. I'm gonna keep locked for the moment. So, Harmony of Dissonance didn't have secret walls. Well, no, it didn't have. Ooh, skeleton for bones. I take that back, kind of. It had like 3 locations where you bust through a wall and get into a new room. But it didn't have anything like you say cracked a wall open in one area, and it just had something behind it, and it was a new area to enter into. So, I don't quite know what this one is going to be like. Spheres, throw bones. Let's just throw the bone. there's an awkward arc on that thing. Yeah, Spears seem a bit better. This game's OST knows to get you pumped from the get-go, unlike the other two. Yeah, this already is like a much more kind of active soundtrack, especially compared to Harmony Dissonance, which just took... I mean, the thing is, Harmony Dissonance, eventually I actually kind of... Well, I won't say I necessarily like the soundtrack, but I definitely kind of grew to tolerate it by the end. Whereas Circle of the Moon, I just kind of felt... Like, Circle of the Moon had some good remixes of it, I put it, you know, that way, but really did not have much else going for it. Also, hello, Jay and Aubrey. Ooh, Mr. Voids. Oh, okay. Not terribly dangerous. Okay, so that's just a full heal, is it? No. Didn't actually check. So, I'm trying to remember one of these games. It might just be Symphony when you pick up a when you defeat a boss and you like they drop a life up. So it's just one of those things I need to... I kind of couldn't remember. I think I got a bit worried at one point in Harmony of Despair because I left a room and they dropped, like, the orb they dropped after dying and basically disappeared. I was going, oh, did I miss some attacks? You know, effectively, oh, did I miss... it's a really short range. Like a health up, but no, just as a heal. So I assume it's a heal in this one as well. There's a lot of... You cannot slide up slopes very well with the dash, it seems. Okay, I need a weapon with a better reach than this short sword. Ideally something that's kind of got some, like, downward attack on it. Flying armor, slowing speed. Falling speed slows down and jump distance increases. Okay. Like, this stuff feels a lot more like, you know, Bloodstained. Or kind of what I came to know of the style of game from Bloodstained. Having, like, multiple ability slots, and each one having kind of both a, you know, here's an attack or active ability, here's a ranged ability, here's a passive kind of movement change. Oh, I didn't even realise that was a platform I was standing on there. Oh dear. Prize enchanted arrows. Alright, yeah, let's give that a try. That seems pretty useful. I'll stick with the wing skeleton for the moment because that spear seems particularly handy. Because it seems to penetrate, so it might hit stuff in a row. But that bow, just being able to launch it from spots in the air seems quite good. Even with the switch to Metroid style and freeing up attack movement possibilities, Castlevania series was more limited. It's more limited in what it allowed than, say, Strider. Yeah, I mean, like, it's weird because I feel like these, like, its builds, I suppose, is kind of what this series kind of got known for, especially after, like, Symphony of the Night was like, yeah, no, you build, like, you know, you go and farm equipment or whatever for a particular, like, ridiculous build, and then you try running, you know, an entire like luck build attack run or something like that. Did I have my? I did set that blue one. Yeah, I did. So can we just not get across this gap then? I guess not. Okay, well, backtrack time already, I suppose. I mean, I suppose the other thing is, like, what did happen with the Castlevania games was they had one big 2D success, really, with Symphony of the Night on PlayStation. And then that was a series that kind of just became a handheld series, at least the kind of 2D games for, you know, I mean, well, pretty much, you know, forever. Like, they had some, you know, 3D stuff, but that was all, you know, the Castlevania 64s and whatever those PS2 games were. Okay, so I can't go there. So they were always kind of, I suppose, working on, like, more limited hardware than what they might otherwise have been if they'd, like, say, kept making this style of game for, you know, the PS2 or, you know, the 360 and stuff like that. Right? Oh. Because yeah, right, but so point distance increase. Oh, jump distance increases, yeah, which is. Well, I'm a little surprised I can't, like, get up to those spots now, but. Can I jump up to there? No? No? So it's still gonna have to go around. I know there was a spot here. Yeah. That I couldn't get to before. Maybe we can jump up there now. It looked like it was, like, just out of my reach, so. Considering I had to pick up the fine armor. Okay, no, I can't. Alright, then I'm already kind of puzzled as to where this game wants me to go. Because, okay, can't jump up there. That was the spot in the water, so I couldn't jump up. And again, I really just have to make that jump. Adjust it. Wait, you can walk through that. Wait, hold on. Which one? You walk through the wall, by the way. I can't remember if I saw this early on, or if you have to get something to allow. Which wall do you mean? I have to clarify, because I was right there. Just okay, sticking to such a reducing metered pace to fire. big rock in the middle of the room with bats hanging around the middle. Oh, you mean this one? Alright, no, I must need something to get through. So that the original style gives sticking to a rigorously metered pace, defined by extremely limited control, plus a la carte in Symphony of the Night, offering way more space for possibilities than any Belmont. Call that perception heavily. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, Symphony of the Night had, like, was kind of, like, I suppose in some ways kind of ridiculous, but then, you know, in terms of, like, what had come before, I mean, like, obviously, that, you know, some of the stuff, like, Random of Blood and everything had like varied paths and had kind of tried to like vary up the format, you know, of the kind of more standard Castlevanias before, but it's kind of hard to look and kind of go, yeah, this feels like that they kind of figured this out, or that, you know, some development team kind of figured it out in whatever year Symphony of the Night came out, and yeah, because that wasn't like the big thing, or the, you know, which was 3D graphics and stuff at the time, like it was never going to kind of grab kind of say like corporate support in a way, and so you're kind of left with like, well, do these on, I mean, I suppose there's also a cost factor there as well, you know, people buying 360s and whatnot are looking, oh, I want my, you know, I want my Oblivion, I want my whatever that I can pay, you know, because it, you know, even, okay, oh, I must be missing something here. Do I have to like land on an angel statue or something? You know, even then people were kind of like still very weird about games that like have to be providing this amount of time and entertainment. These like are games you can kind of beat in like, you know, so a few, you know, one sitting really, if you're kind of, you know, really focused on it. And if you're not like me and getting really stuck like 5 minutes into the game because you can't seem to make a jump that you're not sure you're meant to make, but you can't really see anywhere else you're meant to go. I don't know. Especially since you've given this preview map and it's like, okay, so clearly I should be going up and around. And then, hold on. Am I... Oh. I have to push a button. That's fucking right. Okay. That's what I was getting confused on. I assumed that was a passive, but it's not. It's something I need to hit. Okay. That makes more sense. I'll say it does feel a bit weird for like random high school students starting off with 300 odd XP versus, you know, a la carte starting off with roughly 60. There's a very particular HP creep going on there. So, okay, I can make a few. Here somewhere? Oh yeah, okay, I can't get to that just yet. Moving the market in general, not sure if that applies to Konami's case. The notorious cheapskates be by giving ES team microscopic budgets Comic Sound, Hill Out to Eastern Europe, or is Scotia to be drafted related? I mean, but like that's the thing. They did put like it's weird to think of that like Konami is like quote unquote cheapskates because they put money into like shitloads of stuff long after it never made sense anymore. You know, even stuff down to like Pro Evo Soccer and stuff like that, which was like getting massively outcompeted, but they were still paying big money for licensing for years up until like pretty much just this year where they finally dumped it. Hey Zerg. Like it feels in some ways kind of more like they like and you know, you kind of saw it. This was the thing that turned out to be quite a bit of you know, public kind of desire for Metroidvanias and stuff on the, you know, on the 360, and that's where a lot of like, you know, a lot of early indie stuff kind of did pretty well because it was, you know, especially kind of Metroidvania-like stuff. But I mean, in some ways that feels like just an inability to connect what you're trying to make with kind of perceived quality games. Like, you know, if you're Konami, you're a big publisher, so you need to publish stuff that's competing with the likes of, you know, Sony and Microsoft, and also, you know, EA and blah blah blah, and they're all making big games which are 3D graphics and fancy shaders and nice lighting and everything. It's like, yeah, but people, you know, there's a lot of people who just want a fucking good Castlevania like. It's not been up there just yet. So even if they had the team to do that, there's probably little desire on their part to actually make it, because, you know, that's them setting up a kind of making a value judgment on this is this is a type of game that we will continue to make, or feel that it's within our that we feel is a good return on investment. And, you know, if you're looking at like actual just trends and market stuff, you know, you wouldn't say that, you know, because what was actually making money was smaller games made by smaller teams, which would just had like pretty high quality production. Despite low budgets. So, you know, you could argue, yeah, that's probably defensive bit, like the fact that like Iga's team were given, you know, quote unquote like minuscule budgets, but then there were teams who were making pretty good Metroidvanias at the same time on like similar budgets. Now the difference there being they were typically smaller teams and maybe had like some backing through Kickstarter and stuff like that, and, you know, so they maybe had some comfortable financial support or some kind of not financial support, but sorry, financial fallback. But like again, that's kind of, you know, if we're a big AAA publisher and we publish big AAA games, and then your competition seems to be indie space, that's maybe not something you want to be kind of showing off. It's why EA made such a fuss about like when they did like publish indie stuff, that like I think that the reason I think that EA made such a big fuss about the indie stuff they were publishing and put it under like a different label at the time was because they didn't want it to look like they were competing in the same space, because that's suddenly them outside of, you know, again, big game development, and well, are they actually like, does that affect their, you know, say market capital, because it you know, there's the quality of Madden as produced, where it's only competing with AAA stuff. Does it now devalue it because it's competing with stuff that costs, you know, €10 on Steam or whatever. Anyway, that's anyway, that's what I was getting on. I kind of lost track of how I got on to start talking about that, and it kind of just kept going as I want to do. But anyways, the main thing is this game seems good, so, and the music is good. And I realised that I need to hold R when I do when I fall, and actually note which of these abilities require a button press and which are passive. Hey guys again. I'd like to know what a zombie soul actually does though. I think there were like, how many enemies did it say there were? 120 or something like that? 112, there you go, so that's a lot of potential souls to find. Actually, the fact that I didn't get one off that makes me... Do I have to... Does that mean you might not get them all? Like, do certain bosses not have them? Or is that going to be, like, one of those things where it's like, here's a boss now, but later on this is going to be a general enemy? Like the devil enemy in Harmony Dissonance. Devil. Ooh. That's not good, but I'd like a safe spot somewhere. All bosses that have souls will drop them if they are one of a kind, so that one becomes an enemy. Okay, yeah, that was fun. Because there was some stuff in Harmony Dissonance that could become bosses. Okay, that looks like it might be a safe spot right across here. Quick look. Yep, very good. So what do hearts recover in this then? Do you get, are they MP or are they health? I guess I'm not getting that just yet. Let's check left first, because that looks like a dead end. Oh, I want to say there's a dash cancel in this, actually, now I think of it. Like, from having watched speedruns, but there's a way to, like, dash again quickly after having done the first one. Combat knife. Alright, sure. Well, there's a dash. Yeah, I'm not worried too much about it. More just like one of those things of like, oh, I wonder how you do that. It's just because like Harmony Despair really had like ridiculous levels of like, you know, you can just keep hitting the button and you would just keep going. Both in the dash and the what you call it, the slide. Over here we have the cache. All right. I wonder how important the shop is going to be in this one. That was one thing actually with Harmony Dissonance. That economy kind of got broken. Like, I could have gone... in fact, I did go off and just bought like 99 of the healing items, you know, or like the best healing items by the end, just because I could, even though I didn't need them all. So I wonder if this how this one fares as I do it shopping. I really don't get much in terms of invincibility frames. It was very easy for those guys to hit me. Very easy for that guy to hit me a second time. So now I did go back. But did I do that yesterday? I can't remember. Someday anyway. I went and I did the maximum run for Harmony of Dissonance just to see. Ooh, pardon me, just to see what that was like, and that was actually fun. Oh, hello there. Hello, you're a human, aren't you? Relax, my name is Graham. Let's just say I'm a missionary. I'm Soma Cruz. You weren't here in this shrine before, were you? How did you get here? I'm not sure. I went through the shrine gates and boom, I was here. I see. Can I ask you a question? Go ahead, I don't mind. Is it true that this is Dracula's castle? It most certainly is. But isn't Dracula's castle in Europe somewhere? In theory, yes, but his true castle exists somewhere else. His true castle? Yes, it's a well-known fact that in the underworld. Do you believe in vampires? Well, no. I thought the story of Dracula was made up, actually. No, it's all true. It was linked to the outside world. Usually the church handles these things with utmost secrecy. Over the course of time, Dracula was resurrected many times, when people lost faith and craved chaos and destruction. So are you trying to tell me now that Dracula has been resurrected? No, Dracula perished in 1999. You know of the prophecy of 1999, don't you? Nostradamus' great prophecy? That's right, Dracula was resurrected exactly as he predicted, but vampire hunters destroyed him completely. They ended his regeneration cycle by sealing his castle, the symbol of his demonic power, inside the darkness of an eclipse. And that eclipse is where we are now? Yes, but there's still more to the story. There's more? In the year 2035, a new master will come to the castle, and he will inherit all of Dracula's powers. But that's... yes, the time is now. I better get going. Is that all then? Oh, yes, thank you. Farewell, and be careful. Yes, you too. When you're done with this, will you do 3D? You mean 3D Castlevanias? Well, no, I have other Castlevanias I have as well bought, and as I was saying the other day, during the breezy Mega Man X3 stream, there are Mega Man games I might play as well, so we'll see where I get to. Considering, like, how long it took me to play the other two games in this, assuming this is any sort of same length, I'll probably get done with this in about, the span of a week or so. And I'll see what I do after that. In fact, it might even be faster. Might actually get it done rather quickly this week, just because I'm not doing the both games as I don't think 64 is on. Look, I haven't played many Metroidvanias. Well, no, not Metroid. Of the Castlevanias before now. I don't know if like the bad ones where I want to go to next. Like, I'm kind of playing these because they're they're meant to be good, and Circle of the Moon was nearly enough to put me off the whole damn thing, so let's not go in with one that people say is actually just bad. Like, maybe someday, but I'm not like you. I don't have a Patreon. People can't pay me to play bad shit. So... but I mean, I suppose, actually, certainly people could pay me to play bad shit. I've just made no... I've put in no formal process for it. yeah, once I've got the new, I suppose the other thing as well, I'll start a new job next week. Good news on that being someone apparently made an error on my paperwork somewhere, so instead of starting, so I technically start technically start Monday, but my induction isn't until Tuesday, so I actually get a paid day off because someone screwed up somewhere, and they, obviously with restrictions and everything, they can't just have me wander into the office, so it's like, well, alright, we'll see you Tuesday instead. And there we go. That's actually, there's Vice City who you can also pay to play, this new Papa game. No, I'm saying I'm not someone you can pay to play. Oh, I think I don't have a formal system in play to have me play that stuff. And I'm saying you're the only one. I know. I made them play Amy. God's sake, I know. I'm just saying I have not yet created like a donation goal or like Patreon or anything like that. So yeah, at the moment I play what I fucking want to play. All right, nothing you can do to change that just yet. Yeah, I was kind of annoyed by that because I specifically looked up like that emulation that they were using, that Jay was using, and it was like, yeah, no, this is meant to run well on this emulator. So it was a little upset by that. But, oh well. I just wanted them to spend more time with Marcello. They didn't get to spend as much time with Marcello as I think they deserved to, so disappointment all round. Let's get up this tower. Unless there's a spot at the top where there's a missing step, I should be able to. Yeah, that's what I was saying. No, I've got to check. I should have asked you to check for me while you were doing all your 360 games yesterday. Is it a valid or is it a viable version? You're just attacking the air. It sounds like I should. Yeah, across. No, that's what I'm meant to do. Go for lunch left for rich. Go back to the overconvo. Comparing a big old Japanese company to modern indie, the former often gets bogged down in inscrutable bureaucracy, internal politics, seldom made public. The latter step might be whether you the maker to spend that over. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what, like, kind of what I meant in like if you're doing a direct, like if you're within a large company and you're looking at, God, what's the term for it? But if you're looking at like, oh, here's a team that made this thing with this budget, and it's 3 people in a studio somewhere, surely you should be able to do the same with like, with a tiny team or whatever, or this limited budget. And then, or like you'll have the other side of that, which is like, well, we're not going to make games which look like quote-unquote indie games when we're a big, big established important studio. So I think that's kind of where the two sides of that come back and kind of bite teams like Eagles, who were like producing stuff which was was still good, but was never going to like look as kind of I suppose modern, for want of a better term, as some of the stuff being published by, like, you know, as even stuff that Konami were putting out themselves, like Metal Gear and stuff at the time. A lot of games don't work, but Sonic 06 runs better on 360 emulation. As in, like, runs better than the PS3 version, or runs better than it did on the 360? Because, to be honest, I would believe that. That feels like maybe it was the sort of game that got, like, never got to the final polishing stages, and okay, maybe it was better playing PS3 emulation. Okay, I was just gonna say, like, had you told me though that, like, oh no, it just runs better in emulation than it ever did on the original hardware, I would have believed you just as, you know, just as much, because I would have gone, well, maybe they just never actually, you know, finished actually putting it on to the hardware. Can I hit you with skeleton? Don't drop anything. Oh well. Now, what does it mean now that if I've... So, Bloodstained, when you get, like, multiple versions of the same soul, it kind of, like, powers them up a bit. Oh, I better heal. Okay, if I'm going to do this, I better heal up. Or not run through this area, getting smacked for no reason. Yeah, I was going to say, in Bloodstained, when you get multiple souls from the same creature, it, like, powers it up a bit, and then obviously you can do the upgrades. I don't know how that works in this game. If like, having two bats, for example, means it's better. I remember PS3 was harder to develop with the 360 web simulation logic. It's also not. I mean, maybe, could be. I don't know. I feel like 360 just had, like, honestly, like, pretty good emulation, like, not quite from the get-go, but like fairly early on in kind of that whole process. So again, I've got to check what heart's in this. Konami in particular, I feel wrong applying to the usual lumbering industry giant mentality. With that, I don't know what happened in the channel through the mid-noughts to mid-tens. At least we went full phone gacha with the occasional Yu-Gi-Oh! PS console release for years, which is very much against the grain of the bread. And yeah, like, again, I'm painting broad brush, but then I also think that kind of falls into, like, look, that's, you know, when they thought there was licensing money, they went for licensing money and kind of left, like, you know, I'm sure had someone come along and said we can turn, I don't know, Castlevania into a Bleach game or whatever, someone would have snapped that up, but no. It did a little in Dinosaur, but I think it needed the 9 max souls to see difference. Don't know if it Aria, so okay. Alright, let's see. That's not doing multi-hit attack, unfortunately. Okay. Oh, really not good. Again, this has a... I was going to say this does also have, like, very short invincibility frames, so I was kind of waiting for a moment of me getting bumped into an enemy and not being able to get out of it because I was stuck inside, but I wasn't expecting it to be, like, this early on. PS3 emulation is in a pretty good place. But also I wonder if it is because of how hard. I also wonder if it was because of how hard it was to emulate in the first place with exclusives. Asking RetroPals how to do Xbox emulation, and no one there knew. Yeah, you mean original Xbox? You mean, isn't it? Because that's rather than 360. Because I feel like you've said before that that is ridiculously difficult to emulate. Okay, hard to recover MP. No, let me just let my MP come back for a second. Should let me have a look and see. Do you want to swap these to anything else? The archer is good, but it's slow, so I don't know if there's much point. Yeah, I feel like the spears are probably the way to go for this, and I'm actually going to use them. To run original Xbox games, they have to be in a very specific format that no one has. Oh. Weird. Oh, like, it's just such a weird console to be, like, difficult, you know? I kind of wouldn't expect it. Okay. Oh, I think poison reduces your attack, does it? Oh, shit. I think you take... Oh. Hey Wealthy, how you doing? The emulator has no ability to inform what is wrong either. You'd think that being more computer-like. It's still just a bit bad. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I find the fact that the original Xbox is so difficult to emulate. It just is so bizarre. It's because of that. Because it's made by, you know, because it was, you know, Microsoft making a, well, not making a PC, but, you know, making a very computer-like system. I assume it is like spirit damage. There's no documentation. No documentation for how the system is made, so the best people can do it. Yes, it's reverse engineer. I remember you saying that at one point, actually, which is... What? Where's this room suddenly fucking full? Oh, like this. I want my boss rooms to be empty when I come back in. There we go, hit up that save again, and I'll come back in again in a minute. It's weird what is and isn't a platform. Like, that's a platform, that's not a platform. I know at some point that's going to really fuck me up. Oh. I'll stick it like a free room. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, I suppose, look, if you can get property, take it. OG Xbox having such a robust homebrew community centered on hardware hacking from the get-go, kind of the emulation interest. Yeah. I suppose I can see that a bit, but I guess I kind of just don't know much about what it was like on the original Xbox. Better than yesterday? Yeah. Things are a little better today. I got because of someone making a typo, I tend to get I get a paid holiday. Basically, my first free day. My first day of work is basically a free holiday, so could be worse. That's good. Great to hear if my idiot housemate has actually fucking gone off and gotten his fucking PCR test yet. So actually, fucking better have. I don't know if my Xbox still works, but it was hacked and you could easily just rent games from Blockbuster and gain those games. Oh, okay, that I did not realize. That's, So, did that mean like it wasn't? Did that mean it was like building? You said they had to be in a specific format. Does that mean like your like hacked console was kind of like creating that format on the go? Really fucking bizarre. I didn't know it was that easy. Like you put a game in and suddenly it's there. Oh, Talas. That's a lot of MP. Well, give it a try. I think Jet Set Radio and Halo 2 were the only games I got on the system. Fair enough. But I thought it was easy to get games on a DS. I didn't realise how simple it was to play stuff on a hacked 360 or a hacked Xbox. Like not 360. Such a kind of weird thing for an attack of like, yep, here's your like just throw a fucking sword at someone. Speaking of which, oh wait, where did I get this? Huh. That's a decent attack. And combat knife. It's really fast. Yeah, I'm not sure about that hammer. Yeah, keep the combat knife on for the moment. I feel there's a very lucky drop early on. But again, I would prefer something with a slight arc to it. Though again, well, I suppose I don't actually know if there's anything in this game with an arc in it to it. Well, that was another case of me being getting stuck inside a hitbox or something. You guys. Double checking. I might make a quick save because I'm very low on health. Um, break those pots now. Oh, there you go. The obligatory box pushing puzzle. So that's just going to go up there. So I'm just trying to see if I can find the if there's a save room. Push the box down and over. That's good to do, and then I get whatever is below me there. It looks like it. I think I do have potions as well, don't I? Oh, they recover 100? Okay. Right. Guess I'm not getting up there just yet. I'm probably not getting up there just yet, am I? No. Just shooting. Amen. She's just shooting, like, it's like she's shooting fucking bullets out of her mouth. I don't think that's what spiders do. Even, like, demon spiders. Down here. Not a spot where it's just like, here's $100. Weird. Well, I think that's kind of just from having played, you know, the last two games where Circle at the Moon was like, you get to an area, it's like, here you go, here's another piece of equipment which isn't any better than most of the other stuff we've got already. And then the other one was like, no, it's always just like, it's a health upgrade, it's an MP upgrade, it's a heart upgrade. You're Summer, aren't you? You must be him. Yes, but who are you? Oh, forgive me. I'm Yoko Belnades. I'm a member of the church. How would a member of the church recognize me? You've met Genya Aricado, right? Oh, I didn't read that. Okay. That I didn't notice in his name. Okay. Meet him, but tell me about you, and asked me to help you if you were in trouble. I at least got the Mina Harker bit, but I can't say that. It's hard to believe. Well, he may seem cold at first, but he's actually quite a decent guy. He may be looking out for you because you share the same dark powers. Wait. Did you say my powers are dark? Oh, you mean that you didn't know that? Oh no. Did I say something? Well, what's said is said. Essentially, you have the power to rule over and command monsters. Rule over monsters? I've no desire to do that. It comes as naturally as breathing for you, so you may not realize it yet. And though I call it dark power, that doesn't mean it's evil. Like a weapon, each user decides whether to use it for good or evil. Well, when you put it that way, I feel a little better. Since I got this power, I've begun to lose my sense of self. You are yourself. There's no one else you could be. Don't second guess yourself. Be confident. That's more important. Have confidence. I think I understand now. Thanks, Yoko. I'm not used to being thanked by people. Oh, I forgot to ask you. Have you seen a man named Graham? Graham? Yes, I met him earlier. Be wary of that man. I believe that he will inherit Dracula's powers. No way. He did not look like a bad guy. Right. And I've got a bridge to sell you. Don't be fooled by his appearance. He's not who you think he is. Right. Well, I must be going, and I've got to find Graham. See you around. Just gonna do a quick. I assume. Sorry, I'm just looking at the map there and just trying to figure out if there's a save, like an actual save room nearby or something. And there is there's a way across here, and considering that was just a cutscene, I wonder if maybe there'll be something. Yeah, this is. Yes, okay, good call. Alucard's name in Kana would be something like Arucado. Yeah, like it's. I think I suppose it's probably because they gave him a first name of Ginyu that I just didn't even think that he I just wasn't looking at that. Whereas I saw Mina Harukada or Haruk. I can't remember what her name is now. And I went, oh yeah, Mina Harker. I get you. I get what you're going for here, game. I foolishly did not question if the pretty boy in the dark suit might be Dracula's son. Okay, there's got to be something that's going to appear in these sort of rooms later or something. They can't just be putting down 100. And the other thing as well is, I suppose now after having done what you call it, Harmony of Dissonance just recently, I know that sometimes rooms and castles are bigger than you might think. Where is it? Aha, figured out your puzzle. So I kind of wonder if some of those areas which just had a coin in now will be something else at a later point. I mean, I don't know, you're not really seeing, maybe, but it's fucking GBA graphics, there's not exactly much distinguishing them from each other. With sword. That actually might be kind of what I'm looking for in terms of a bit of reach. I'm going to try this for a little while. Let's try the boss with the whip sword and see how that goes. Definitely looks like it kind of catches in the air. I'll just do this, and if it doesn't work, I'll go on out heal before I try whatever this boss is going to be. My range is probably what I need here. Oop. Right. Having it be always a backdash is going to screw me up because I'm going to try to run away from stuff and then hit dash. Like, just kind of automatically. So I just need to remember, just hit when I'm facing, hit dash, don't try to run away first. Because, harmony of dissonance being a directional dash. Okay, fine. And even the way the team managed to compress Ayami Kojima's art into the card is a telltale sign of how better their grasp on the tech. Yeah, like that's definitely something over time that you kind of just notice that they got. I mean, no, this is another thing that I've noticed as well between these three versions is that I think maybe one of the reasons that Circle of the Moon kind of felt a little off to me is that the sprites all feel very small. So, like, I mean, I kept complaining about those sword enemies because you just felt like they were just tiny and had no hitbox. I feel like Aria of Sorrow kind of repaired it a bit by fucking 5-head here, Jesus. By putting basically zooming in a bit, like you've a narrower field of view, but everything is a bit larger. And this kind of now seems to have gone kind of split the difference between the two of them. It's not quite as small as Circle of the Moon, but not quite as big as Harmony of Dissonance. Thank you, Sass. What's a child like yourself doing in things like this? Thank you, Sass. A child? You're rude, Grandpa. Oh, my apologies. My name's Hammer. The army ordered me to come here. Hi, I'm Soma. I thought I was inspecting a shrine, but suddenly I was in a castle. Don't you think that's a mean thing to do to a guy? So I just bailed on my mission. What do you mean? There were a bunch of strange people gathered at the shrine. I thought they'd be good customers, so I opened up a shop. Ah, good for you. Also forgot to say hi, Wafiti. How you doing? Yeah. There's weapons all over the castle, and no monsters at the front gate. No place for a shop. Go on by, I'll give you a good deal. See you around. Wahaha. Alright. Shop, huh? I don't get it. No. I mean, also, we're reading you at the same, like, because it's W and you have the same name color as Wife City. I kind of, at the corner of my eye, was thinking that the last couple of messages from you were like J or B, so that, god damn it, Sass. Oh, double jump, nice. So is that just something? Yeah, okay, so some of them are passive. And they're just there, so where do they... Is it okay. Oh, okay, those are the ability. Get it now. Okay, I maxed my parts, yes. I can see that. Thank you, Sass. Let's put back on the comment right for now. Wealthy. Stick this back on for the moment. Double jumps are nice. There's not going to be like anything in here, no. So, I was kind of hoping there'd be like a teleporter or something all of a sudden. Okay, so curse drains all your MP. Good to know. See, I did that again. I tried to run away and then hit backdash. And that's not good. Ah. So it's the one problem of playing 3 Castlevania games in a row, especially when they all play differently. Yes, well, so I hope you're all ready to see Jay play Vanquish in about an hour and a half, because I'll probably wrap up probably within like 30 minutes of her starting that. Binge over there, but I'm looking forward to see her take on that very odd game for a lot of reasons. Oh, extinguish. Release a lethal cache that runs full speed at enemies. Ah. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, well. I can't crawl. Thank you, Sass. Yes. Cash. Wasn't like anything stuck in a corner up here or anything, was there? I don't think there was. There's a cancel cat. Cat seems alright. There we are. And is it probably just... I don't know actually, which is probably better, because the fact that the cat just runs along the ground means anything that's on the on the ground gets hit. I think the katanas penetrate stuff, but it's not easy to tell without there being a few enemies lined up in a row.
I put a stake through her heart and garlic around her neck to make sure she never come back.
Oh yeah, I forgot I still had that set of the alert for follows. Give a feeding. Also, did the actual alert pop up? I didn't see. I forgot I changed that during the Thatcher's tech-based stream and forgot. Had to change it back afterwards. Alright, I can get that item now. Sword. She said I'd put a stake through her heart and put a garlic around her neck to make sure she never comes back, and that's a woman responding to the news of Margaret Thatcher's death. I just picked up broadsword. Okay. There's a clip from I think it's an ITV interview. It is like, I think it's actually no, it wasn't on News of Her Death. It was on the day of her funeral. It was kind of gotten around at the time, I remember. There was a lot of similar sentiment in various parts of the world. Let's I'll look back up then. I think that's anyway. I think the actual clip is where I got the clip I got the audio from was like Scottish woman reacts to the death of Margaret Thatcher or something like that. You'll find it. Again, it wasn't that went around quite a bit at the time. Okay, I think I know. All right, combat knife is just getting the job done at the moment, unfortunately. With the tiny range. I went this way. Get an uncursed potion. That'll be useful. What's over here to the right? Was this something I maybe could get to? Oh, I think this was something I could get to with the double jump, so let's take a look. It's like, yeah, down here and around. Another hammer, okay. So I didn't even notice I picked up the first one, so... I have to wonder, because I know it exists, or I know it's in Circle of the Moon. There's an achievement for getting all the card drops. I wonder if there's one for this for getting all the souls, which feels like it'll probably be a while. So those like little notification things on the side are actually useful, and I think I used them in, or I definitely found them helpful at points in Circle of the Moon and other things where, just for finding, is there going to be like, will there potentially be a drop here? Like kind of grind for a little bit. Good. But the fact that they just kind of pop on every hit, look, oh, okay, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I forgot that, like, those little bits on the pillars are actually things you can stand on, and I got stuck on one as I was trying to double jump up here. Oh, I have fought a creature more frightening than Iron Maggie. I mean, no, because she actually fucking existed, is the problem. Most of the things in horror games don't. Record the notification on the GB version. It had any time. No, I think these are added for this because they're actually in this menu here. Gadget setting, as they're called. Because that was, again, they were in the other two as well, in Actually, Harmony of Dissonance actually a very useful one where it would tell you how many items were in an area to find and like color coded. So like blue were like the little items you got for your like the little collectible things you got for your. Oh no, sorry, red were your collectibles for your room, and then blue ones were like actual useful or kind of like progression items and stuff. Didn't you fight and kill Thatcher on stream? I did, and that's what I'm saying. There's been nothing like scarier in a game than Margaret Thatcher. Because yes, I killed her in the game, but unfortunately she lived much too long as a real person. Oh, teleportation. Very nice. Okay, well let's zoom back over and go to the shop then. Look at that smiley guy there. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've never... I played... what's the sequel to this called again? I played a little bit of that on the DS at one point, but never really got that far in it. There's kind of a point where I really wasn't, like... I think at the point where I played... God, why am I blanking on the name of it? Is that Order of Ecclesia? Or whatever. But again, whatever the sequel one to this is called. Whatever point I was playing it, I'd never actually played a Castlevania, one of these style of Castlevanias through. I think I'd played a decent chunk of Symphony of the Night at one point, but it wasn't actually till a few years ago that I actually played through it properly. Thatcher killing was so nice you did it. Well, to be fair, it's because I broke the game the first time, then I went back and did it proper the second time. Welcome back, Summer. Hey. Not that man over there. Do you mean Hammer? His name's Hammer, huh? Don't you think he's a little scary? No, I think he's a decent guy. But look at all those weapons he has over there. He told me he was opening up his own shop. Here, he's opening a shop in this castle? He's weird. Yeah, it's pretty strange. But if you say that he's a good guy, I'll believe you. Alright. Dawn of Sorrow, thank you. Last thing I stopped on was trying and failing to get a move from an enemy. There's a tiny ball of light that zaps into the screen for 1 second. The moment you enter the room, it never comes again since. You have to stop time on the right moment to kill it. Huh. That's annoying. How do you actually hold on? I can actually look it up. Look up the actually have a look and see what the oh wait, I can check this in the overlay, can't I? Let's see, is there an achievement in Aria of Sorrow for collecting like everything? Collect all the souls, yep. 6.9% of people have done that, apparently, according to Steam. Howdy there, you're getting... This is where you opened your shop? Yes, it is. By the way, that cute little young lady over there is staring at you. Is she your friend? Yeah. Well, I had no idea you were so popular with the ladies. Hey, it's not like that. Oh god, this... I don't like this guy. So, can I sell my... Okay. And so a hammer. I have a heart pendant is better than regular pendant, so I'll get rid of that. What you have to sell? Castle map 1. I have castle map, I'm pretty sure. Oh, castle map 1, I'm pretty sure. 2 potion line up. Okay. Spear, radius, scimitar, katana. You've got armor here as well. That actually seems kind of okay. More fatigues. Boost attack defense and strength. Katana, no descript sword. That's an interesting typo. If I got a bit more gold, I can actually afford the more fatigues and the katana. I wonder if that's actually what we're getting. Both it and the scimitar are clearly better than the combat knife, at least damage-wise. You know what, let's get that. Didn't mean to talk to you. I wanted to... Oh. As the killer wasn't expecting the katana to have such a long swing on it, but yeah, give it a try for a bit. I can come back and get the combat clothes later. Yeah. Lucky charm. Why not? Oh. I was going to say they look like something that mist could pass through, but it's not like there's any way to go from up here, so I don't know. Sorry, how much over there now? Okay, so I need about 70-ish gold, and I'll have enough to buy... Oh, did I get healed up? Oh, that must have been Mina who healed me. And I should have enough then to buy the fatigues, so... Get you now. I'll just get within the candles and I'm lucky. 30, 40... 50. And more. Right. Yeah. One of these be 10. There we go. Oh, I probably should also buy that castle map as well. Fatigues. I can probably sell that leather gear. Yeah. That could be more than enough to buy. Okay, now I can see the whole upper area. I will jump back through the portal. We'll go over to that area, finish off that little spot there on the right. I wonder if I can get up there now that I've got the double jump. Actually, I probably can get to a few of these spots now that I've got the double jump. But clearly that's kind of the next area to tackle, if that's on map 2. I can also take a look and see what's up here. Oh. Jumping while taking damage restore. Huh. That's a real interesting one. I assume that means, I assume that doesn't mean like you negate all damage loss. It just means you recover some of the damage that you would otherwise take. But that's actually kind of a neat one. If you're like me and your reaction to getting hit by stuff is to like try to dodge or jump out of the way, that's probably not a bad one to have. It's a creepy doll. Mesmerize the enemy. Let's see how that works. Okay. That's kind of cute. Spears on for a moment. I wonder if there's like a boss or something that's particularly going on. Cestus. Oh. Huh. Yeah, that's just really quick now. Yeah, real big fucking fifth. Look at that. And it's always the fist that's like behind his coat. So sometimes he's punching with his left, and sometimes he's punching with his right. Keep the katana on for the moment anyway. Well, based on the other two games, I'm guessing I get probably some long jump ability thing at some point, and then I can just like zoom up there. Actually, Feely, since you have played this recently, maybe you can clarify if there are any breakable walls in this game that like have either secrets or like either secret rooms or secret say like items behind them, because that's the one thing that seems generally missing from Aria. Not entirely, but like there's like 2 rooms in that entire game that you break into, and the rest are just, you know, just on the map, you know. Oh, gosh. Alright, well. Alright, let's just go back up through the, we'll have to go this way. We'll go back through the teleporter and we'll continue on into map area 2. Again, I'm pretty sure like all those areas up there are places I can probably get to. I mean, yeah, you know what, I can run over. Why not? Let's go take a look. Is there anything interesting in any of them? So, I wonder. One thing I kind of wonder is if there is a specific, like if, because obviously there's like, well, I was gonna say obvious, but I suppose this only really, I only know of it happening in Symphony of the Night. But you know, your stats in Symphony of the Night are randomized based on stuff at the beginning of the game. And I kind of wonder if like some of the souls are like so rare on certain. Sorry, I'm just looking now and wondering, oh, do I break into that little square from down below or something? Anyway, I can look at it later. Again, considering the number of, you know, monster souls there is to pick up in this, I was wondering if, like, maybe there's some which are just rarer on certain seeds than others, and then that's why you have that weird, like, trade mechanic that's in this game for the GBA. Requires bat, so gains bat powers become vampire. I mean, hey, not all bats are vampire bats. Well, okay. It might be a fruit bat. Yep, nice. Oh, I forgot I can just stand on those things. Right? I can. Okay, that's good to know. You can get the same, every soul the same way on every playthrough. Yeah, I just more wonder, like, was there, like, I was wondering if, like, certain ones had, like, reduced drop chance or something, because I just had that weird, like, if you've got this game and your friend has a game and you've got a link cable, you can trade souls back and forth. So I was just kind of wondering if, like, that was to encourage some amount of, like, trading. So not necessarily that they'd be impossible to get, but just certain seeds that might be very difficult to get. I feel like there's a track in Bloodstained which is exactly this one, that they pretty much just didn't change anything about it. I'll still get up there with a double jump, so I probably need something that lets me... Oh yeah, because there was that thing I could see, which I needed to crawl to get to, but clearly I need something that's going to either make me crawl or shrink me or something. Maybe we'll get a Symphony of the Night style bat blight thing at some point. Yeah, this isn't somewhat I can get to this yet. Anyway. Morph suit? Yeah, that's... I feel like maybe I looked at that comment too late, well, I wasn't sure what you were referring to there. Oh, I've immediately forgotten what I was talking about a minute ago. What was I talking about a minute ago? Who knows? Oh wait, that's good. Oh yeah. Oh, my creepy dog. Oh, wait, is that a size I can get with this? Yeah, okay, well. Well, guess whatever leap or, you know, whatever ability I get later on in the game, I'm gonna have to come back with that. I do wonder is if this game has a Crisagrim style weapon where it's just the one where you can just keep mashing even as you're running. Because they had one of those in Bloodstained as well. I just realised. I've got to, 1 second, I just forgot I've got to switch the heating off. 1 second, I'll be right back in a second. Yeah. Sorry, I just remembered I had to flick the heating on it before I started this, and just realised I've had it on for a while on it. Oh, Metroid Morph. I see. Yeah, the Morph Ball, I mean, I get it. Take care, Wealthy. Jonathan had that kind of walking while slashing sword. It wasn't overpowered. Alright. But I mean, like, that's the thing, that sword wasn't, like, terribly strong, like, stats-wise in Bloodstained, just, like, because you could move while just constantly slashing. Ooh, that's hand grenades. It just made it very, like, comparatively powerful. A tea break like someone who needs their tea, Wafidi. That's what that means. So is this going to be somewhere I can unlock? No. I'm not meant to get up here. No, not get up there just yet. Okay, well, I attempt to find all the areas that I thought I could get to now that I have a double jump. With, like, actually there's only like 2 of them. Oh. We're nearly back here now anyway, so... Take a... Alright, so to the right was the water. There's a waterway, but I think I can get up here. And then down here was another water path, and I definitely can't get down there because I was underwater, but I can probably jump up there. And take a look at these two areas. I'm just going to save and have a look then, see if there's anything nice to pick up. Oh, maybe I can't get down. Oh no, I can. Okay. Oh, this is a whole other area. The floating garden. Okay. Nope. This area might be outside of my level. Maybe I wasn't meant to be able to get up here just yet. Maybe that was kind of a very lucky double jump I did or something, but let's have a quick look. You know what? Let's leave the huge cockatrice garden for the moment. We'll come back later. That definitely felt like somewhere which I was maybe not meant to be just yet. Just, well, again, the map, like the second map kind of suggests it's this area up, you know, above to my left. That I meant to go to next, but let's start. Look, I'm here. I know that is a thing I can get to. Let me just take a look. Like I said, I think I just managed to kind of kind of like look my way on top of it. I'm gonna have a quick look down at that other water area there, just to see. Because again, it's just that little rectangle there, which makes me assume there's probably some nice little thing, maybe a little bit of treasure, maybe a weapon or whatever. But we'll take a look. Oh, this is a save, but I will save anyway. Yep. Let's know what the killer fish ability is. Come on, give me a soul. Give me a soul fish. Can I get up here? No. Damn it. Yep, guess I'm not getting up there just yet then. Alright. Fine. I guess I'll go to the place the game told me to go to. Yeah, let's go over, hit the save again, and then I'll go, because I have to go through this, I have to go this way anyway. Right. I'm just decided to pause very loudly. Oh, you can just knock the bombs out of the air. That's interesting. So you don't actually, you don't destroy them. Like I'm pretty sure you did in the last two games, where if you hit something that an enemy was throwing at you, it would destroy it, but it's gonna just kind of like glow, flashes and then flop. Oops. Well, that's very slow. It's kind of neat, but that is very slow. Oh. Out of here. Oh, I'd say siren. Oh, harpy, but not really siren. There's no way up here now. It doesn't actually look like there's anything up there that I'm missing, so. Actually, this is something I can't quite tell. You see on it, like, okay, he's right, the dying coat, he's got the belt on. What are the dots on his trousers? Has he got buckles there as well? Are they badges? Are they torn and we're seeing his calves? I don't know. In the buttons? Okay. Well, like, look. Danger of working with sprites. You never quite know how things are going to be perceived by the people looking at them. What's saying? There's so many people. Strange, a sense of dark power within you. Who are you? It is rude to ask questions before introducing yourself. Yes, you're right. I can't give you my name, but people call me Jay. People call you Jay? Why hide your real name? Are you a criminal? No, I have amnesia. I'm told that I was in an accident in 1999. When I woke up in the hospital, I'd forgotten my name and my past. Oh, I see. Well, my name's Soma. You had dark power. Were you born with it? I don't really know. I first noticed it when I entered this castle. I see. I guess I was mistaken. Mr. J, why have you come to this? No. No, don't call him Mr. J. No. I can't do that voice. I can't do that fucking voice. Oh wait, is this a... Oh, it is buttons, I see. Okay, thank you for that, Lochnar. That information. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Yes, there are 9 buttons on each of his legs. Okay. Mr. J, why have you come to this castle? Call me Jay. I'm filled with fear when I hear the name Dracula. I came here because of the prophecy. I also thought my memory might return. In fact, since my arrival, I felt like my memory is returning. And your accident occurred in 1999? Maybe Dracula was involved. I feel you're correct, especially since I have magical powers. Jay, are you an exorcist? Well, you might say that, but I work for no one but myself. I must be going now. I'm sure we'll meet again. Yeah. See ya. This goofy music. Okay, I was wondering if there was gonna be enemies in here when I walked back in. That's a good skeleton. Fuck it, there are times I wish I could have done that in the previous job. Where's your skeleton? You're the best of. 1999, you knew when The Matrix came out? What's the name of that? What is the name of this is... Is this actually a sequel to a different Castlevania game? Like, did one come out that is set in 1999? Or is that just, you know, events that occur and are only referenced in this game? Which way? Sorry. I'm gonna look here now. Which way am I kind of going? If I... Alright, I can go all the way to the top, or I can work my way down. Oh, okay, I'll work my way down first, I suppose. Look. No, this is the latest game in the series of the Turn Couch. Okay, it's strictly backstory. Okay, that's fine. I was just wondering myself if there was one that I wasn't familiar with, because there are plenty of them I'm not familiar with. Maybe acted as a prequel. Like, I mean, you know, if you told me that one of there's a PS2 Castlevania game that's technically, you know, the events are referenced in Aria of Sorrow or whatever, you know, I would go, alright, I could see it. Whatever dash or slide ability you need for that. Okay. Yugenko never made a game about the battle against Dracula at the turn of the millennium, which, to be honest, a lot of people would be hyped for if it ever happened. Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, it kind of makes sense. And like, it is kind of a weird, like, not oversight, but it's kind of, you know, if you're going to go all the way to 2035, why not pick like 1999 or 2000 as a year for, you know, fun Dracula shenanigans. Just yeah. Castlevania Millennium. That's shit. I'm not. Must be that. Ghost swords. Ghost swords. Nemesis. So this one. Good. This and Dawn, the OG for Chronicles of Simon's Quest, Bloodline, The Portrait of Ruin, Rondo, Dracula X, and Symphony of Night. So those are all the... Okay, so those are all the ones in that one continuity, you see. Never played Portrait of Ruin. It has things adapted from the Genesis game. Then they're like 50 years apart. Oh, okay. Oh, alright. What's this you? Actually, no, I thought of it while I was there. I actually should have just gone through the teleporter and managed to buy some potions. I'm probably going to want them at some point, but oh well. Once upon a time, they were like Dracula rises every 100 years, and then they threw that in the trash because they needed to make more games. Yeah, because that's like, you know, Castlevania 1 and 2 are both like Simon Belmont, aren't they? It's the, you know, second one is Simon's Quest, so clearly it wasn't going to be 100 years between those two. Gym clothes. Oh. And then Haunted Castle, where Drac openly cooks you as he do. Oh, Christ. I'm glad you're the person who feels a little rash. Oh, hey, look, it's you again. I remember you. You were a boss earlier. Actually, I'm going to put on that one, because those spears hit you multiple times when I throw it up. Oh, there's a Game Boy Color, I think, Castlevania, where you play as Belmont 1, and on the epilogue she had a kid with Alka. Yes, so I think that, I'm trying to think, is that Bloodlines? No, that's not one. I can't think of what the Game Boy Color one, or the Game Boy ones are called, but I know some of those Game Boy ones are actually in that, the other Castlevania collection that's on Steam, the one with the original Castlevanias, which I also own and will play maybe not on stream at some point. I'm not sure yet. Wait. We can do the guitar for this one. I need to fucking stop talking about the fucking Bomberman game. God damn it. Like, I mean, before my Really? There's nothing. Oh, is this gonna? Okay, this is gonna be the sort of thing where I get like, you know, like the special magic glasses or something, isn't it? And then when I come here to places like this with them equipped, there's going to be like a secret item or a person or a ghost or like a vendor or something, or maybe a boss, or maybe portal opens. That's what this sort of game is, isn't it? I feel like there's only so many types of Castlevania game at a point. Miss Belmont from the hit erotic violence pachinko series Castlevania. Right, you know, I think it's just look for that spot. There is one enemy with a very rare spawn. Huh. It's interesting. Nice, thank you, Sass, for applauding the big bone. So that potion went for it before I realised I couldn't actually pick it up just yet. Ooh. Ooh, it's got purple on. It's still just a evil butcher, so that's... Wait, get out of here. No sharpened butcher knives. There we go. Just not straight, okay. I assume, like, just weak version of like katana. Katana shot, I assume. I do about half the damage. There's a boss right here, and I do not have health. But there's also a save right here, thank you. Thank you, game, for being generous. Magic comes from magic roads, tattoos called glyphs in the game. It's totally different from the crystal magic used in Bloodstained, where they stab you with a magic crystal and see if you die and become a witch. Well, this Castlevania 60 Pachinko was a trailer that's mostly in Japanese. Then it shows a succubus followed by a screen with the English word saying sexual violence, and oh, I think I remember. Yeah, that was. Was it like sexual violence or was it erotic violence instead? I can't remember now. I do remember like a lot of folks, you know, very understandably both like making fun and like kind of going, what the fuck are you doing here? Okay, I'm gonna... You look like you might have multiple what's the issue? That. No, that's only hit them once, so what is that? Legs take damage. Other head. Head takes damage. Arm does not, I think it's got him. And it's a case where the whip sword, just because it's got a slightly longer reach, might be better. Yeah, I'd say that's probably the way to go. Yeah, okay. misjudging how far that hand actually up. How close I need to be before that handle hit me. Oh. To consider, but Castlevania is anything but hetero. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, that's that Netflix series. Okay, now I can. So, oh, is that something graffiti that I'm gonna have to like freeze time to get? Is that what I'm? Is that one of those things? Oh, that's the room you were thinking of, sorry. Okay. That's interesting. Alright. Does my slide do damage? Look, my damage. In here. See what it does. It does, just not very much. I think in Aria, your slide is based on your strength, like a strength stat, without a weapon, I think. So you would still do, so like once you'd level up a bit, you were still doing like a lot, I was still doing a lot of damage just by sliding into stuff. Not as much as I would do with the weapon, but you know, there's enough usually to finish off certain enemies. Actually, had fun getting that skill and then backwards. I mean, like, yeah, there was a little bit of backtracking in the other two as well. Just that was. I mean, that was kind of what. Like it was the only thing in what you call it, Harmony of Dissonance that kind of put me off a bit. Was like, oh, I've gotten through, you know, all the way to effectively the end of this game. I've in fact beaten the last boss, but I also need to now go and find these like two artifacts that I've missed, which, you know, because of where they are, they don't show up as like uncleared space on the map. And it's only because, one, I looked up a guide, and two, if I hadn't, I could have relied on the locator feature in the, you know, in the remakes, or the re-releases. But that still would have meant me like basically physically going to every area, seeing is there a gap on this list, and then trying to figure out where this thing might be. So it was those are the sort of things I still find very annoying in games like this, where it's like, yeah, you could just not backtrack, or you could maybe put these items on general progression, but and now, like, you know, now I've got slide, I need to come all the way down here. Wait, where was that? No, that was the boss. It's down here. Though it looks like there's a door, so I'll actually probably have to go down there at some point anyway, so that's not a big deal. Stuff there to clear. Anyway. Like, at least that looks like it's somewhere that will, like... Oh, here's something I can slide to pick up later, but it also will lead me to a new area, or whatever. Oh yeah, no, I mean, you can use the warp, but you're still, like, you know, you're not right there either. Still, like, some traveling you need to do afterwards. Oh, I didn't need to actually come out this way. I meant to do that area first, really, didn't I? Do all that. Let's just see what this space is called. Inner quarters. Persephone. Alright. Ah. I can get it. Nope, I can't get it. God damn it. Can you... Oh, you can jump out of that. Ah. Okay, let me just go check that top area first, because that's just kind of an odd looking space. I just wonder what might be up there. It doesn't look like most boss arenas. Again, this is me kind of basing off how many distance and stuff tended to be like 2 block wide rooms with a, you know, small room off of them. So I doubt, well, no, unless that turns out to be a boss room or something else. But so I don't think there's a boss up this way, but let's take a look anyway. Because there might be a spot where I'll get immediately cut off or something. But now that I have the slide, you can't like slide in midair or anything, so that's that one sword that I was looking at that's kind of stuck in a little crevice up in an area I still can't get to. Sort of been useful to have found a bit earlier. Yeah, there you go. There's my dead end for now. I'm going to need something to get in there later, so that's fine. Oh, I don't think that had like a big block. Excuse me, that was a big block in it. I don't think that didn't look like something I could get through. So again, I'm guessing at some point, like the other 2 games, they'll probably get like a high jump thing, which is like a kind of kick into the air, and I'm assuming then I will knock that block out of the way. Oh wait, was it a block or was it just like that? Now you've got me questioning myself, so hold on. Oh wait, no, it's not a block. Oh, no, right. The framing of that really made it look like it was a gap in the ceiling that was physically blocked by something. Like, yeah, no, I saw that platform. Excuse me. Like, yeah, no, I saw the platform, but it was this bit above it, and just the way the cracks were, it looked like something wedged into place. So that's the way I kind of like mentally kind of read that. So I looked at it like, okay, yeah, no, clearly I'll get something later. Let me test that. But that's also me looking and going like, okay, well, I got double jump and it opened up like 2 rooms of the areas I'd been in before, so I wouldn't, you know, I was kind of going, clearly they won't let me, you know, they're going to block off progression more frequently than I expected. Like, okay, I can't get to the top of this room now, so that's my next cutoff. Oh, I can duck under his breath. That's good to know. I love Wader Skeleton. You at least get back up there. Wait, can I jump on the back of these guys? Oh, okay. Huh. I always forget that there's some enemies in this series you can just jump on. Like the bonehead things. Come down here so I can hit you with my sword. This is oh, I can't get up here. No. Because I just land on the fucking boneheads. God damn it. Foolish. Come on, I'm over here. And even after saying I could stand on the bonehead myself, I wasn't even... bone pillars, whatever they're called. Still didn't put that together. Oh. Just restores mana, right? That's all your MP. Okay. Actually, I suppose there's one thing I've not seen so far, and it's a little surprising, is that there's no, been no, say, like, life up, or, mana up, orbs or anything. Which was a lot of, the little things you'd find in areas in Harmony Dissonance, especially. Now, that also helps in that you've got, like, 3 things in there you could level up, so they could spread it around. You had your health, you had your MP, but then you also do your hearts as well, so... Four swings... That's the beach. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I'm guessing now, that there probably isn't, or I probably would have found some by now. Well, it must all be to do with leveling and items then. Oh, I think I get the floor off. One, two. No. Where's it? God damn it. You didn't have to do this. You could have just gone about your day. You have to start a fucking fight. I can get this. I knew I could get it. There you go. Got it. The sword enemies remained annoying into Bloodstained as well. Though at least with that, you had the fun parry on the katanas. I think you got eventually, and you could just like let them jump at you and hit the counter attack, and they'd immediately die. I just want to see if either of these might be a save room or anything. Okay, just the room with the maid in it that I had to read up. Oh, what the? Huh. Yep, okay, I guess I'm not going that way just yet then. And Dio Rabbit over there. Here. Maybe I will put on the sword again. Reach, considering she just seems to have a dagger. Oh, I have to assume this is only like a first phase. At some point, yeah, there's going to be more. Yeah, of course, there's going to be more heads. Reach is definitely. This is kind of, unfortunately, I found kind of true with like Bloodstain and stuff as well. As like sometimes like the weapon you want to use is just like fucking not great because it's just, and it's not down to like damage output or anything like that. It's purely down to reach. How many fucking... ground so I can knife you. Ah. Okay, I found it. Yeah. Oh, I don't like this boss because she's also low, so she doesn't get hit by the. Let's put on these. Place it on the ground. Thank you, notification, for letting me know that I'm hitting there. Well, I'm out of NP now, so. For that one, not going well. Okay, so let's leave the knife on for the first phase at least. I might swap it for the second one. But I'll definitely swap it for the third one. I can definitely make this easier by having the whip sword out, so I can try just to take no damage in the first phase, which should be more than possible. Oh, there we go, that was me trying to dodge while also running in the opposite direction and instead tackling into her. It is definitely very straightforward to do that first fight. Without taking damage. That's not too much damage. But, okay, the knife does a lot more damage for whatever reason. The butcher's, oh, the spear only did like 9. Oh, I'm not doing this phase well at all. God. I don't think I was anywhere near this close to dying the last one. Okay. Let's use reach and... Let's decide, because at this point is the... The worth using the whip sword for the reach, maybe. Let's use the whip sword on for the moment. But try doing the wing skeleton for this. So can you sure I'm actually hit her when she's in the... Ugh. Okay, these can do multi-hit, so it's kind of still probably worth it, even if they're not doing as much damage as the knife was. In one hit, because they're still doing so knife is doing 15. A quarter, but yeah, I mean, I could man up. The thing is, I don't think it's like... Okay, I actually... You know what? I need a faster weapon is what I need this time. Because I need to just get behind her when she's doing that, punch, and then jump away. It's not the fastest one, maybe it's the combat knife. Because she just has range on me, and I just can't... so I just instead need to, like, get the attacks out, do the damage where I can, and then try to avoid it when she just crawls at me. Annoying. Oh, fuck it. Let's... Oh, okay, well. Collect souls to increase... Oh. That's just a fucking flat buff and everything. Listen for the more souls you have. That's actually... Okay, let's... Can get that then. Much. Get that back on. Just because the knives are a nice all-rounder. Alright. This will probably be the sort of play that ends with a shopping trip at the end as I go and restocking all my potions. Oh. Oh, I like that cap, the witch's hat on. That's pretty nice. So we've got a palette stuff already. Curly. Alright. Interesting name. Ooh. Look at that. That looks cool. So some of that in Harmony Dissonance. Hold still, just let me hit you. Yeah. Alright, I think in the last one they actually just like actually shot out discs. They weren't playing with a fucking yo-yo. I like how this tower is basically in bloodstained, you know, as is. Oh, what's this thing? Walk on. Okay. And grunting. Poison secreting sword. Huh. So, let's have a look at this. But they say so. Poison seems to make me take about a 10% more damage and maybe lessen my damage. I'm not entirely sure about that second part anyway, so I wonder how this will affect stuff here. Like, when you're poisoned, or oh, I wonder if there's a certain enemies that you can poison. Yeah, just called it a poison secreting sword, so. Oh, have they started off sets, have they? I'm gonna, well, in that case I'm probably gonna call it in a minute then, and I will head over there. Oh, it won't leave you do all the moderating duties myself. Let me just check it. Okay, no, they've just started. So look, hey, I'm back in a save room. This seems probably as good a time as any to wrap up for the moment anyway. Yeah, okay, I know it is just 9 o'clock, I forgot about that. Yeah. Hey, look, I'm going to be playing a bit more of this. Maybe I'll do some more tomorrow. Maybe I'll do Sunday, now that I have a day off on Monday, kind of unexpectedly, before I start the new job. So, yeah, that'll be it. Probably that's probably the only thing I'm going to stream the rest of the week. Is this? I will post whenever I arrange next boat stuff with Zoe. That is going to be BioShock whenever we get to it. What else? No, that's those are the main things at the moment anyway. Aria of Sorrow and BioShock. Anyway, I'll send you over to Jay and Bree now. For God, why am I forgetting the name of the fucking game? Vanquish. For some reason in my head I was thinking Valorant. That's not that fucking name. That's not what that game is. Life. Alright. So yeah, enjoy everyone. Yeah, well, we'll get back to Castlevania stuff in the next couple of days, and we'll see how we get on with everything. Alright, I'll send you over there now. Enjoy Vanquish. Bye.